Some people move on, but not us. Not us.
YouTube, what's going on, guys? ColossalTugboat here with a brand new type of series for you. We're still doing franchise. It's still basically a rebuild, but this is going to be the continuous long franchise that I plan on spanning out for pretty much all year. There is going to be something interesting that happens. So for those of you that do consistently play Madden, you know, once it gets right up to pretty much the first week of the season, for maybe even a couple weeks in, Madden always drops a huge update. The last couple years been changing, you know, some superstar abilities, of course, updating the rosters completely to reflect what they currently are at the beginning of the season, different things like that. So we're going to kind of approach that as whenever we get there kind of thing. I'll play this some and get a feel for it, and then at that point, whenever, because there's going to be updates and everything that you're going to have to restart your league, I almost guarantee, in order to get. And if it wasn't game-changing abilities, things like that, or even just major changes to the game, I really wouldn't worry about it. But I do think it'd be something that would affect the gameplay in and of itself. And I want to at least give a few episodes of this a try before that happens, so I can kind of gauge how everybody feels about it, get a feel for it myself. I've obviously never done this before. But kind of get a feeling overall for what we're going to do here. So basically, like I said, this is going to be more of the gameplay type video. So in our franchise rebuilds, that's me just doing all the GM type work and hardly ever playing a game unless it came down to the playoffs. For this, though, we're going to be playing every single game, doing all of the list of things down the line in between games, and really getting the full feel of just taking over one team and doing that. So disclaimer, as I've told you before, and the few times I have played, I'm not that good at this game. So
what does this button do?
There's going to be plenty of cringeworthy laughing moments at my gameplay, at stupid mistakes.
Okay.
I really suck at defense, so you're going to get to make fun of me, and that's totally fine. I'll make fun of myself most of the time. But without further ado, as you can see here, you've been able to see for the past minute or so that we are going to do the Chicago Bears. A few reasons why. Number one, first and foremost, those of you that don't know, the Colts are my number one team. I live in Indy. I'm a season ticket holder now, finally ready to go to a game. Got on the list last year, paid them off, and then all of a sudden, COVID shut everything down, so wasn't able to go. But luckily, starting here in a couple weeks, I'll be able to go back and actually sit in my seats. I'm super excited. But all that build up, the Bears and the Colts have always been my two teams. I was born in Illinois. My family grew up in Illinois, and the year that I really got into football was the year that the Colts and the Bears played each other in the Super Bowl, which was Super Bowl 41. I think that was like 2006, if I remember correctly. I watched Peyton Manning before that, but I didn't follow football. That was the first year that I really got into it. And at the time, of course, that was whenever I was in middle school, and it felt pretty good to be a little bit rebellious, to be around all these Colts fans and be that one Bears fan.
Who are you people?
And so it was pretty cool. So pretty much all through high school and everything, I claimed the Bears as my team, and on the back burner, I had the Colts. So this team is very near and dear to my heart, so that's why I love it. Number two, you can't deny exactly the big franchise quarterback that they drafted, Justin Fields.
Investigators found a car. They also found wheels.
We all hope that he's going to be the answer that we've been so long searching for as Bears fans for years and years, and we hope it's not just another bust down the road. Time will tell, but I can tell you this is the most excited I've ever seen football fans, not just Bears fans, not just, you know, radio people around the area. Legitimately, I think the general consensus across the media, across fans, across the whole league is that Justin Fields is kind of the real deal. And there's a lot of potential there as long as they don't mess it up. So that's what our job is going to be here, is to make sure that he reaches that elite status and make sure that we don't mess it up, because I'm sure that Ryan Pace in real life is going to. So anyways, that's that. So really excited to use the Bears, really excited to see where they go. They're also an interesting team for a couple other things. Typically with my rebuilds, I love doing teams with kind of a large amount of cap. This team doesn't quite have that. I mean, we had to cut Kyle Fuller in the offseason because we were already hemorrhaging money as it was. We have Khalil Mack on a huge contract and also took away our draft picks until recently, which I would say is worth it because he's a fantastic player, but at the same time, we've only got about 1 year of the production that we were hoping from from the team as a whole. He's been great throughout, had his ups and downs at points, but I mean, he's been well worth, I think, the picks in my opinion. Just the rest of the team, especially the offense, needs to step up. So really excited to see what we can do there and hopefully bring some titles to the city of Chicago, where it has so desperately been missed since '85.
What the hell? Oh my God.
But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to just stay as Matt Nagy. I'm not going to make a new coach or anything like that. I'll show you the settings here that we're going to be dealing with because it is a bit different. Of course, it's on all Madden. We've got the simulation game style, so it's more of a realistic type of Madden. It's not like every catch is an Odell Beckham Jr. one-handed catch. I don't like playing like that. The pre-order bonus stuff, it's definitely not going to matter for this. I'm just going to leave it on. I don't know. Where it gets more interesting, so the coach firing, I got it on CPU only. I have been fired as a coach in one of my little mock rebuilds that I did off camera, off stream, everything like that. It was set to CPU only, and I was the Jets, and in the first year, I got Robert Saleh fired. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure if it's really supposed to be like that. They told me, you got to win next game or you're gone, and I lost because I just simmed it. And I clicked on it again, and it actually fired me. So I'm going to leave it like this. I don't want to do on necessarily because I don't want to get fired, but it'll be interesting to see. I don't think we're going to get fired, but if we do, we'll totally follow that storyline. We're going to play this as if we are Matt Nagy. If he gets shotgunned from the team and we go to somewhere else, we're going to pick up with that team and see how that goes. So it'll be interesting. I think it'll be kind of fun. But anyways, that's going to say CPU only. If we do have the ability to get fired at some point, it's staying like that. It's just the game's fault. So, of course, salary cap, everything like that is on. Big thing this year, injuries. They're going to be on. They're never on in my sims unless I do like a realistic rebuild, which we never quite got to. But in this, especially playing every game and trying to be as realistic as possible, it's going to be, injuries are going to play a big part. And from what I've seen, injuries are pretty common. So as far as like getting multiple guys with injuries a game, hopefully none of them are super long. You'll see some that are season ending, maybe even career ending. It'll be interesting. But the biggest thing, they put in progressive fatigue, which is going to be on. So week to week, fatigue is going to carry over. And there's also the ability to get injured in practice, which is kind of scary because you have absolutely no control over, I guess, really any injury, but especially practice. You're just like, oh God, it scares me a little bit. So it's going to be interesting, but we're going to leave all that on. We don't need the play call limits. It's going to be 9-minute quarters. And then we got the accelerated clock on, all that. Everything's set to manual, except for apparently manage practice reps. So we'll set that to manual. And then, of course, all the auto stuff's off. So that's that. That's kind of the quick overview of all of that as far as what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's check out the team, see how it looks. One thing is that might pop up a lot. I can't control it. The game's still kind of working out some bugs, like whenever you get into the draft screen, it's just a huge white bright light that burns your retinas. So hopefully they get all that fixed soon, but if that keeps popping up, I do apologize. I would love to get rid of it completely, but I have no control over that. So we are in preseason week 1 right now. I think the way that we're going to do it is we're going to wrap up all 3 of the preseason games into one episode. We'll cut in bits and pieces of it here. Nobody's really here to watch preseason. This is more so the introduction, and we'll clip in some different things that happened maybe during the game or whatever, just a short recap. But we'll really get into it starting week 1. Pretty much each episode's going to be a game. It's going to be, practically the full game. There'll be cuts here or there, very minimal though. And then we'll, of course, go through the whole season. So we've got all this stuff here. I'm not too familiar with some of it, so we're going to figure it out as we go. The weekly strategy, it looks like this is where we choose our different game plans. So in preseason week 1, of course, we have the Miami Dolphins. And we got to figure out our game plan for this. So let's take a look at a few of them. I think the thumbs up would be that's what it's suggesting me to do, and I kind of agree. That or short pass, because I don't see Tua throw it down the field too often. So we'll focus on the outside run and shore that up. And then on the offensive game plan, if I can figure out how to get there. On the offensive game plan, we're going to go ahead and take a look. It has us suggested to do blitz counter, and that's what it has. Yeah, the Dolphins are a pretty good blitzing team, so we'll just go ahead and leave it at that. They've got a pretty nice pass rush there. And then let's see, team profile. This is more commonly what I'm used to seeing. This is where you choose your focus players before doing trainings, things like that. Recover 3 or more fumbles is our weekly game plan. Can we change that? Because that seems kind of crazy. Suggesting there's going to be 3 fumbles in the game.
To infinity and beyond.
I think 2 touchdown passes would be a good goal for us. Definitely doable in my opinion, but we'll set that as the goal. All right, so looking at the team here, of course, we have the quarterback. He's the highest overall on the team, so naturally set as the starter. He's who I would start day 1 anyways. My only thing in real life is first few weeks are just an absolute grinder. We're already going to be out without Tevin Jenkins. That just came out yesterday that he's having back surgery, and they hope to get him back this season. An offensive line that's already shaky and now down another part that would be big. Going against like Aaron Donald and all them, a bit scary. You might throw Andy Dalton out there to get beat up a little bit and then work Fields in to not ruin his confidence. That's the only thing I'll say. But in this game, we're definitely going to start with Justin Fields, and we're going to keep him there. He's a 74 hidden development. I've used him a couple times in the game, just random franchises. He is insane, in my opinion. He's got 92 throw power, really good accuracy, 86 short, 82, 83 medium and deep, of course. Throw on the run is an 80. Definitely room for improvement on those stats, but starting off as a 74 quarterback with especially the 92 throw power is really nice. He does have 90 speed, and I'll be honest, he's pretty fast. He's real fast. I was kind of shocked with how fast he was whenever I first used him that time. But 22-year-old rookie out of Ohio State, of course, going to be the cornerstone for this entire franchise. Everything's going to pretty much be revolved around him. So very excited for that. In the backfield, we have David Montgomery as the starter, backed up by Damian Williams and Tariq Cohen. David Montgomery is going to be the absolute thunder for the team. He's going to run people over. He's going to break tackles. He'd probably catch some balls, but that's mostly what Damian Williams and Cohen are there for, the change of pace, the third down type backs. Montgomery had a really good year last year, being the main candidate once Tariq Cohen went down. So his outlook is going to be kind of diminished a little bit because he has some competition in the backfield now. As we referenced earlier, we have Khalil Herbert, and he is going to be the 4th stringer rookie. So there's plenty of depth there. I mean, that's about as happy as you can be with a running back room without having a bona fide 100% superstar. I really like David Montgomery, have high hopes for him, but we're going to see how that all goes. I think that it should be pretty good. He's just a bit slow whenever you actually use him. I think he has like 88 speed, if I remember right. But he's only 88 speed, but 87 break tackles, really nice. 24 years old, so definitely have some more years left with him. We'll see how far we get into this as far as how many years this goes. it probably won't even matter, honestly. I'm used to doing the simulation rebuilds where a year happens in 20 minutes, so we'll see how that goes. Allen Robinson, of course, in my opinion, the best offensive player on the team. I've liked this guy since he was torching the Colts back in the day with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but he's only gotten better every single year. I was super stoked whenever the Bears signed him in free agency a few years ago. He is currently playing on the franchise tag, so we're going to need to look to lock him up. He's 28. We definitely need to do everything we can to keep him here, unless he regresses harshly at the end of this year. I don't see that happening. Maybe in dev trait, but he shouldn't go down too much. But the dude is just solid. I think he has 98 catching, 97 catch in traffic, 95 spectacular catch. So definitely bona fide wide receiver 1. We have Darnell Mooney, who is quietly really good. He was a rookie last year. Now the number 2 receiver since they shipped off. What's his name? Always made me mad. Anthony Miller. There he is. Anthony Miller. Good riddance. Bye. Darnell Mooney, though, has been great in the game. He's a really good wide receiver. 93 speed, 89 catching, 87 catching traffic. He's got a 78 overall, but he plays much higher than that 78 in my opinion. He plays more like a 82, 83 type person. So really good player for us. Can't wait to use him in the slot. It's going to be interesting. I'm sure Allen Robinson will probably line up in the slot some, as well as Mooney. But the third receiver is going to be Marquise Goodwin for now, who's getting older in age. Didn't play last year, actually. He opted out because of COVID. So he's coming back. I think he was with the Eagles last year. But he's a speedster nonetheless. So he will provide us in this game plenty of opportunity to hit big home runs down the field with Justin Fields' cannon. So really excited for that. And that I'm not going to go over the rest of the wide receivers. We got depth there. Not the greatest, but we've got people who are definitely capable of stepping in for a couple plays. At left tackle, we have the rookie Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. It says Oklahoma. That is an error. I'll get that changed. But definitely going to be the future left tackle as long as everything pans out. Again, I kind of already said it came out this week that he was having back surgery, so he is a bit banged up right now. I don't think he's really practiced all that much with the team either, so kind of sucks to see, but I have high hopes for him. Cody Whitehair looks like he moved out from center, where I traditionally see him, over to left guard, but still a very good offensive lineman, probably the best on the team. We have here Sam Mustipher. He's not the worst, but we could use an upgrade over time, whether that's through a trade or whether that's through free agency or the draft, of course. So we'll take a look at that. James Daniels is very, very good. Only 23 years old. Very, very solid and dependable. He is our right guard. And then right tackle, you can take your pick of whoever you want there. It's not very good either way that you look at it. Now, again, an interesting position is going to be the tight end. We have Jimmy Graham, who is well past his heyday. And we have Cole Kmet, who is very young, up and coming, highly touted out of college. In my opinion, I think it's a no-brainer to start Cole Kmet. Jimmy Graham in the game isn't terrible. He makes some decent catches, but I'm going to go ahead and start Cole Kmet because through the focus trainings and everything, I want to develop him much more and allow him to grow to his potential. Jimmy Graham's not getting any better. Whatever kind of progress or upgrades we make to him throughout the year is just going to fall off at the end of the year, given his age. So we just definitely need to start fresh with the youth and move from there. So that's kind of the outlook for that. On the defense, not the best Bears defense we've seen in a while, but it's not bad by any means. We have Bilal Nichols, Eddie Goldman, and Akeem Hicks. Very, very solid defensive line, And then on the linebackers, we got Robert Quinn, Danny Trevathan, who I'm not the biggest fan of. Alec Ogletree's been really outplaying him in practice in real life. I'm going to leave Danny in there for right now, but he's not a good user linebacker. His coverage sucks. He's slow. But that's why we have Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith's pretty much the opposite of that. He does everything well. Very nice user linebacker. Also really young. I think he's 23, maybe 24 now. Go ahead and upgrade his field general so we can take a look at that. Some nice upgrades there, so that works. He's 24. our first round pick a few years ago. And then, of course, we had the man of the hour, the biggest defensive player on the team at one point, the NFL, Khalil Mack. Great, fantastic outside linebacker. He is getting up there in age. He's 30, still got several good years left, but we look forward to him terrorizing offenses for us this year. We have Desmond Trufant, starting cornerback, since we got rid of Kyle Fuller because of a cap casualty pretty much. I'm really interested to see how Jalen Johnson develops. He was our rookie pick last year. Fantastic rookie year, and he's only looking to upgrade on that, so very excited. Beyond that, though, I'm not even going to say not much. I'm going to say no cornerback depth whatsoever. Artie Burns can get you out of a pinch, but he's not going to do it. So we definitely need to address the cornerback position coming up here as quickly as possible. Desmond Trufant also isn't young. He's 30, so he's going to start regressing, and we're going to be down to only one cornerback. We're going to really need to focus on that, I think, coming up. That offensive line and then wide receiver depth, but that's a big glaring hole right there. At the free safety, we have Eddie Jackson. Kind of had a down year last year, really, but still one of the top safeties in the league, a ball hawker, forces fumbles. Really, really good player. Excited to have him on my squad and not go up against him several times a year, so that's nice. And then on the strong safety, we have Tashawn Gibson holding up a spot right now. We're going to need to find a strong safety as well. That shouldn't be that hard to do. There's usually some pretty good ones in free agency, or even a free safety that we can convert Eddie Jackson. There's so many things we can do, but the thing is, that's going to be later down the road, because this is going to take a little while to get through, and we're going to see how that all presents itself once we get there. Special teams, we have Cairo Santos and Pat O'Donnell as our kicker and punter. And then for the specialists, like I said, we have Marquise Goodwin in the slot. We have Damian Williams as the third down back. I'll leave it. I'm not sure if Tariq Cohen would be better. They're all 74s. Okay. I'm going to leave it for now. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how Damian Williams does. I might even bump up Montgomery to a 3-down back just to help improve him overall, but we'll get there when we get there. Desmond Trufant as the slot corner, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'll go ahead and leave that. I think he's definitely clearly going to be better than Artie Burns. I just don't want Artie Burns being on the boundary too much. So we'll get there when we get there. Khalil Mack, of course, rushing the passer with Akeem Hicks, Robert Quinn, and Roquan Smith. All that looks fine. We're going to leave it as is and get moving on to the next part. Upgrade players. We already upgraded Roquan Smith. Looks like we have Alex Bars, who's our right guard. We'll drop him on the pass protector there. +1 pass block finesse. +1. Oh my God, I can't talk. Hello.
That you could.
And then for our focus players, we definitely want Justin Herbert there. We want to get him ramped up and ready to go, and then as soon as possible. I think he's the highest overall player as far as quarterback on the team, so he should be the designated starter already. Of course, it's a no-brainer. Someone who's young who I want to get more out of is Cole Kmet. I definitely want to, I'll let Jimmy Graham stay his time here, but not really all in on that. Definitely want to get my young players as much playing time as possible. I think we're going to leave it with Tevin Jenkins. We really need to beef up this offensive line. So those are going to be our 3 guys right there that we're going to focus train. And so I guess this is all a sim. You used to be able to play it and get like gold medal. And if you got gold medal, you got the most like amount of XP available. Not entirely sure how this one all works out, other than it looks like it's just kind of a sim. So kind of look through here. It's pretty nice. You get game plan boosts. So each of these defensive players looks like they're getting +5 block shed, +5 play rec, +5 tackle, and +5 pursuit. So that is good. Get all the XP for it. The main thing we're looking at is the right side there. Check for any injuries. It looks like Calitro, has a I was channeling the WWE days, but that appears to be it for defense. Let's check the offense. It looks like the starters, there's all their upgrades. All our quarterbacks are getting throw under pressure, short accuracy, run. Should be throw on the run, and then break sack. And we're hoping again for no injuries here. Turf toe on a backup tight end. So that, sorry for that guy, but we're doing all right.
You're a poopy head.
Avoiding any major injuries as a whole and on our starters. So training is complete. This is going to be the part here that's a bit new to me, is the staff management. I haven't done any of these talent trees yet. So we have the 60 staff points up there at the top. This is used to help grow your coach, kind of like a skill tree in other video games. Each thing you unlock is going to give you bonuses or extra abilities. So for example, the first one on the player growth there, Secret Remedy, decrease multi-week injury recovery time. So that's pretty clutch, honestly. And then as you go further down the list, you upgrade more and more. You can see how many points each upgrade is worth. So that is that. Head coach, offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, player personnel. This is going to be more like the GM. And you can get stuff like 5% trade discount on players older than 30, 2% trade value increase for user draft picks, and then it has tiers to it. So I think here, what's this? These are nice that it turns, gain the ability to equip X factors on the offensive lineup. Okay. I wonder if I have to have that or else my X factors won't be X factors. Either way, we're going to do it. I don't really trade for too many people over 30. So I'm going to do the hometown discount on player personnel. And offensive lineman. I think we'll do that. The safety one was interesting, but it's easier to find a safety in the draft than it is an offensive lineman nowadays. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So we can probably pick up a safety somewhere along the way, but bringing in veteran offensive linemen will be crucial here. So we got that. I don't think that red dot's going to go away. I don't know what to do about that.
Perhaps you should read the instructions first.
So we're going to go ahead and get into preseason game number 1. Again, this is probably going to be just clips of these preseason games. Nobody really wants to sit here and watch 3 full preseason games, and I'm not going to make 3 episodes dedicated to it. So anyways, I'm going to do, what do you say? We'll do play the moments. Let's see how that goes. And it's just preseason. Once we get into the actual season, we'll go ahead and do the play full game, and then we'll go from there. Kind of thinking Cole Kmet should be open, and he is. Very scary throw. Got very close to that cornerback. Corners with Byron Jones, Xavier Howard. Let's see. Get there. Marquise Goodwin wide open on the 1-yard line. And we are up 3-0 halfway through the first quarter. Danny Trevathan is going to be our user because I'm not sure where Roquan is. Good tackle there by 57. Or fast enough. Faster than Danny Trevathan. That's a dime. My corner was just... Artie Burns. Getting burned. Why? Oh, just kidding. And there you have it. That about sums up the Bears' offensive line. Absolutely untouched, it felt like. Off the left side, had but maybe 3 seconds to go ahead and throw it. This is a absolute shellacking. While it was high, he had the separation. He should have been able to catch that. Well, we converted, got the first down. There we go. Touchdown to Javon Wims. Actually didn't drop it in the end zone. You like to see it. He had like a rub route real quick where he got picked up by the defense and got stopped. But we made a first down out of it. Our absolute dome rocked. 30, was that 39-10? I missed it. Yeah, 39-10. Jacoby Brissett with a blistering 82% completion against our second team. We'll go ahead and go to week 2 and see what that has to offer for us. Nice dime right there. Another game without two passing touchdowns. I think we're in mid-season stride there. We're just making a case for Andy Dalton not to start, that's all. Trying to send a message to the front office saying, hey, not a good idea. Justin Hardy, I know you're frustrated with Darnell Mooney. I really wasn't. I was frustrated with my quarterback and offensive line. Dude couldn't hang on to anything last game. All right. But don't give up on him yet. I think with a little help, he could be really good. Is there any specific area you want him to improve in? It sounds like what you're saying is catching in traffic. I wouldn't mind some catching traffic. He's getting +2 catch in traffic. Very nice. Then let's go ahead and move into preseason game number 3 here. Our final preseason game. Not too sure how much. I've kind of been wondering this in real life as well. How much some of these players are going to play week by week. So we used to have it down where week 1 the starters would play a drive, maybe two drives, depending on if there's some kind of need to figure out who's playing what or any kind of competitions. I'm just gonna throw that up. Well, there's one. And getting them out there. So I'm kind of interested to see you take away the 4th preseason game. Interested to see. Get him, Khalil. There we go. User sack. Let's go. Khalil Sack Mack with his 2nd sack of the game already on that first defensive possession. Very nice. Get him. Oh, very nice. Run, Akeem. Very nice little punch out there from behind. I like that. I really still want to know what happened that last. Oh, very nice strip fumble. Khalil Mack is in mid-season form right now. Other than that, it's going to be moving on to week 1, which will be coming up very next episode. I think kind of the format, what we're going to do right now is while we're getting things back together, probably do a franchise rebuild one. I won't say 1 week. I'm not sure how much we're going to upload each week. Definitely at least once a week. Maybe if we're able to, twice a week. It's all going to depend, and we're going to have to find a good schedule. Walter, my editor, works for the Colts, so as the season's starting up, he gets really busy. So he's a huge part. He makes pretty much all this possible. Otherwise, it's just me recording videos. He does all the editing and everything.
I'm in danger.
So if we get some other help that we've had before, we might be able to put out more per week. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how that goes. But anyways, what I'm getting at is it's probably going to alternate between rebuild or maybe 2 rebuilds and then a franchise episode. So it's all going to be coming together. Keep an eye out for it. If you haven't already, be sure to drop a like on this video, drop a like on any of the other videos we have. Leave a comment, let me know what you think of this. Definitely tell me how poorly I did. I mean, this is just absolutely terrible. Hopefully the whole season altogether is much better than this, but it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we may just have to bail out because I suck. But anyways, checking out the last injuries here. We have Elijah Wilkinson and Bilal Nichols. Both should be back next week for week 1. And then Alex Bars, which is our backup right guard because James Daniels is our starter. He is out for 4 weeks. And Mustafa will be back, like I said, week 2, it looks like. So that's going to do it for this episode. Again, drop a like, leave a comment. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be posting much more content here coming up. Let me know what you think about this series. Let me know what you think about the idea or any suggestions you have. Also, let me know the next franchise team that you want to see as far as the rebuilds go for the 1 episodes. Did you like the last episode? How it was all set up with it was about like 35 minutes just in 1 episode, kind of condensed. Did you like all the memes? I thought those were really funny. He did a great job throwing those in there. I always know that the YouTubers I watch that throw those in there, I get a good laugh. So Anyways, let me know some feedback. Thanks so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Preseason's all wrapped up. We're going to be week 1 versus the LA Rams. Can't wait to see you there. Peace out.